Greetings, your Mr. Mayor and Madam Mayor. Yes. And thank you very much, councillors, colleagues, friends, members, are coming to our event today, which is to celebrate the opening of our centre project. I hope you don't mind if I read, because I shan't be able to remember what I've written down. So I'm going to read you a little speech, very short one. Okay, I'm the chairperson of ASAP, which stands for Asperger's Syndrome Access to Provision, which originated as a parent-carer support group and came together in September 2007 under the leadership of Bernard Hart in response to the frustration caused by the lack of response to needs and difficulties of adults with Asperger's syndrome and high-functioning autism. And we began to campaign to raise awareness. To those of you who do not know, adults who have this condition are often unable to achieve their potential due to a lack of knowledge and awareness on how to help them and access to appropriate support to overcome their difficulties. I am myself a parent and one who has long been fascinated and intrigued by the nature of the condition of autism and how it affects different individuals, so that they can be so able in one area and so unable in others, and in what is the typical uneven profile of abilities. ASC stands for Autistic Spectrum Condition, and our centre deals with adults, i.e. those over 18 who are able to come and join in our activity sessions independently and benefit from them. I'll now give you a brief history of the project. It began as an idea with ASAP's former chairperson Bernard Hart and colleagues in Harrow, who planned it during 2008 and 2009. And it was a dream for those adults and their parents and carers, who for long years had suffered being ineligible and ignored in the community, when their difficulties had made them unable to achieve independent adult lives. After Bernard had relocated his home outside Harrow and resigned from ASAP, some funding he had applied for was awarded, and the leadership team of ASAP had to begin to make the centre a reality. ASAP, as a group of parents and carers, had for many years battled to get a change made for their sons and daughters and knew very well what kind of support would make a difference. But also a few people who had professional and clinical involvement with adults with ASC were also involved in planning, one of whom, Janet, has continued to support us with her advice and input for members, and she will be speaking to us presently. We began the centre in August 2010 in this venue with the very kind permission of the trustees of the charity Choices for All, who have allowed us to use their premises ever since, to deliver our sessions twice weekly between 4 and 6 p.m. We have continued and have in the first place provided a place to be for adults with ASC, somewhere for them to come where they can have a cup of tea, coffee and talk to someone in a relaxed and safe venue. And to that we have added individual sessions designed to support and promote those adults in areas of need or difficulty. Added to the essential opportunity to learn and develop social skills, we have added computer and yoga sessions, creative writing, drama sessions, fitness and healthy living talks, and information sessions from Job Centre Plus, Housing Department, Disability Benefits and Floating Support, etc. Our members come from Harrow and the surrounding areas, and we have a regular attendance of 10 to 14, with a total of 30 different adults with ASC who have used our centre. Our members tell us that coming to the centre has made a difference to their lives, and you might be hearing from one shortly. Our services at the centre depend on the work of volunteers to support them, and we believe that volunteers are a positive asset to our work because, as neurotypical people who are interested in finding out more about adults with ASC, they are uniquely placed to offer social skills, experience and insight to our members in their interactions. Our volunteers are here today and ready to talk to you about their role in the centre project. We now look to the future, and we are planning to offer a series of structured courses on essential services to promote well-being, such as job skills, relationships workshop, and also one-to-one support in advocacy, counselling and mentoring. We also want to be able to deliver training to professionals who might come into contact with adults with ASC. In Harrow, there is now a greater awareness and willingness to work towards a fairer situation for adults with ASC. In the ASC Project Board, and we are supporting this initiative, but it will probably remain the case that the provision of support for the needs and difficulties will be less than adequate, both in quantity and quality, unless the voluntary sector makes the effort to use the experience and expertise of those who are most interested, experienced and involved in the lives of adults with ASC, the adults themselves and their parents and carers and those who work with them, to plan and deliver what is actually needed. It is said that God helps those who help themselves, and a personal and proactive self-help attitude is what we use to make progress happen. We have found that adults with ASC, our members and clients, are able to develop a self-help attitude and take a personal initiative in realising their potential towards improving their prospects and in helping themselves and others reach goals with a minimum of directed and effective training and support. For example, members have taken on the role of peer mentors and have developed an independent women's group and are training to become speakers in autism. So this leads us to a service model, not of giving passive support to those who are unable to help themselves, but of one of actively providing those elements of essential and specifically designed and targeted interventions, training or activities which will make a difference to adults with ASC by empowering or enabling them to take control of their own lives and to need less or no support in the future. Finally, and most importantly, I wish to wholeheartedly thank all those organisations and individuals who have helped us to develop this project with advice and participation, encouragement, monitoring and funding input, and to publicly recognise their contribution, without which this project would not have thrived, especially the kind support of Choices for All in allowing us to access this venue. And I mention particularly our local funders, the Voluntary and Community Grants Fund of Harrow Council and the North West London Community Foundation Grassroots Fund, Anne Freeman of Rethink, Lorraine and Tanya of Family Action, Angela, Georgina and Alistair of HAD, Helen Fleetwood of NASH, Julie Brown of KCA, Sarah Percy of the Volunteers Centre and Devon P. Lake of MenCap. Sorry about this. Have all been supported, not to omit to mention those volunteers who have so generously given their time and expertise to help adults with autism. I am also proud to announce that Dr. Fiona Scott has recently agreed to become our patron, and her experience and expertise in the field of autism, both in research, training and clinical practice, is offered to support the project. Thank you. I now hand you up to Janet Goldfeld, our attached therapist, who has worked with adults with ASC for many years and continues to support our project.